side, but right now it's all about you, Gian, and you are doing a sparkling job.
42.
As you see, much more traditional for Josh. He just holds the dart right at his face and then very much kicking. So just being above the treble 20 is ideal. For Gian, that is the perfect dart. I expected more, and I think so did Gian there, but just below, being at the bottom, that's what these elite darts are all about now. Even treble 20s sometimes not is good enough. They want to be at the bottom echelon of the bed as well, so that's how good these are getting. Make mine a... Oh. Bit of chili sauce on mine there, Dan.
59.
To be fair, Glenn, you seem to be getting a load of stuff for free from these food and drink vendors here this weekend anyway, so you can pretty much ask what you want, you'll get it.
43.
Been a very slow start for Josh. He has taken full control. I think he'd be the happier man if he can just get to 3-2, because he's been totally outplayed. Josh Rock doesn't play poorly for too long.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're expecting him to get back to his normal level. He only averaged 90
55.
yesterday against Keegan Brown, but he won it 6-0 and Keegan offered nothing. You can't really judge that much out of that performance. It's a 6-0 win.
100.
Here, he has to find at least
32.
his usual levels and probably a bit more. And at the minute, he's off it. But this would put him just one leg behind.
16.
Well, this would hurt.
Gian, you require 140.
Minute margins. Boy, would it hurt. Options. He stays there. This boy is good.
Double 10. Oh, Jan van Veen, that is a monster. It's 3-ton plus checkouts already from this 21-year-old. And Josh Rock, who the bookies made second favourite at the start of today, is on the ropes.
Take a breath, Glenn. I knew these lads were good.
99.
I knew this boy was good. And you just feel there's more gears to come in the scoring part of it. Another 3 180s agreed. Just sit back and admire.
100.
He is really, really good. This is his third game of the weekend, and he's been up against some really good stuff. And he is averaging for the tournament close to 99. If you do that for a whole tournament, you've got a chance of winning the title.
It was just a superb opener against Jermaine Watanabe. I really enjoyed that game. He bounced back with a big win again yesterday. And standing up, but this would be a huge win. And he's dominated this contest. This is a guy who's well out in front at the moment. And 2 darts at tops.
Double 10.
It's
another 12 darter. Jan van Veen has won 5 legs on the spin against the world youth champion.
Tell you what, Dan, I don't think Josh Rock will be second favourite right now.
He's second favourite for this game, let me tell you. See, that's too high in the bed, but he still finds his way through.
100.
And I thought he picked up another 180 for a minute.
Yeah, there's a real art to it. The understack will be easier for him when you can start to overstack as well. But he'll just be twiddling just with his fingers to try and adjust to get it in there. It's someone said yesterday, it's not science. When you stand back and watch these are doing, just look at the smoothness of these guys. For Josh today, you just sense a little bit of tension in them shoulders. It's going to be really difficult for Josh, Dan, in my opinion, when he stops this dart right in the face, which he's done, because repetition is key in darts. And if that stop becomes too quick, too long, that's when you can start getting the problems.
100.
Just being micro, just trying to see what I'm seeing. Just an unbelievable talent, but being second best today.
123.
Yeah, well, look, Josh Rock is averaging in the high 80s, and we see that very, very rarely. But Jan van Veen, even if Josh Rock was playing at his normal level in the high 90s, around the 100 mark, Jan van Veen might well be winning this game and might well be winning it well. because he has been superb in this. Treble 17 and Bullseye, who's in danger of losing this heavily. Is it going to be a 4th-ton plus checkout and a stunning 6-1 victory for the 21-year-old from the Netherlands? Just on top of that, into double top. Oh my word, you don't get much closer.
Joshua requires 64.
64 is a finish. Joshua Library knows now it's a must hit the 2 darter tops. And that just shows a little bit of quality there. I would just get back and get back focused. We've seen this week how people can fight back from 5-0 and 5-1 down. You've just got to keep taking 1 dart at a time now. He's a heavy, heavy underdog. But he's still got to remain focused and still have that belief.
Now, sarcastic celebration from Josh Rock, but we have also seen players in that kind of demeanour, and then 15 minutes later in a game, all of a sudden, they're very, very focused because they might be in with a chance of winning the game.
And look, Josh Rock can go 11, 11, 12. You know, he is that good.
Problem is, Cam Van Veen looks like he might pull out a 12 darter at any point as well. And if he does it on throw, it's game over.
And that's what I mean about playing against these elite, these fine margins. You know, Bullseye here, some unbelievable finish from the guys.
Yeah.
59.
But getting over that winning line, Dan, it's still that old adage. It's still the toughest one to win. And that's the only hope Josh can sort of keep giving to himself, because that devil keeps going on your shoulders. I can't believe this is all going wrong today. When you want that positivity on the other shoulder saying, look, you're still in this match. That'll be the toughest thing. And then you look up and see darts like this.
Yeah.
Wowza!
Unfortunately for Josh Rock, Cam Van Veen is handing that devil on his shoulder a megaphone at the minute, and he is screaming down his ear hole, you are going to lose this game.
94.
Because he has been powerless to stop his opponent.
67.
67. He'll get 1 more match dart. Double 16 the target for 6-2.
35.
He could have won all 8 legs of this match, Cam Van Veen.
Josh Rock sprints to the hockey for this 1-1-4. And this is darts. This is darts. Twists and turns, swings and roundabouts, ups and downs. This is why we love the game so much. Josh Rock is back in this match. That was a breaker throw, Dan.
First time he's managed to break Van Veen's throw. It's the 5th ton plus checkout we've had in 8 legs. And we've had the doubles missed for ton plus checkouts a couple of times on top of that.
96.
It's good to see that Josh is able to do this with arguably his B game right now. It's great when you're doing all these 100+ averages right now. There's something to say about Sheehan as well. He just stood there, just give himself a little nod there. Right now I'm in a match. Now it's back to business. Oh, this is good.
That was an astonishing 180 from Cam Van Veen. He throws these really thin needle-like darts, and he can really thread them through between each other.
58.
It is proper surgery from Van Veen around that treble 20 bet.
And you know, you could. I watched his progress in 2018. It was rapid, wasn't it? From around about 2020, he just went from me. He was barely winning the game in the development tour, and all of a sudden, look where he is now. What a story.
57.
Not enough to get down to a finish. Josh Rock doesn't need to business with the bullseye here. 2 visits to clear the 170 and get within a leg. He had to have been sensible there if he'd got the second treble, surely. It would have been silly nonsense to be going for the bullseye there.
And for Van Veen, he just looked over again and he's thinking 206 in 6 darts, because 72 is not a gimme for Josh.
138.
Beautiful darts from the Netherlands guy.
72.
Can he keep on going to the well and coming up with these combo finishes?
This time he's dry, Dan.
Gianni requires 68.
So for the 3rd leg running, Jan Van Veen's got to get a chance to win the match. He got 1 dart in leg 7, 1 dart in leg 8. He gets 1 dart in leg 9. Is it enough this time? Yes, it is. Jan Van Veen gets over the line in a stormer of a performance. 5 ton plus checkouts between them, 6 180s, and they all came from the Dutchman. The second favourite with the bookies is beaten. He will not be going to the World Cup of Darts this year, Josh Rock, but Jan van Veen is through to the quarterfinals on the European Tour for the first time in what could turn out to be an amazing career.
My love has got no money, he's got his strong beliefs. My love has got no power, he's got his strong beliefs. My love has got no fame, he's got his strong beliefs. My love has got no money, he's got his strong beliefs. Want more and more, people just want more and more. They don't love what he's looking for, more and more. People just
Unser zweiter Viertelfinalist hier in Sindelfingen heißt Gian van Veen. Gian, wow, congratulations. You just beat the bookie's second favorite to win this event. And over large spells of that game, you dominated him. I mean, you averaged 99 there, 3-ton plus checkouts. That amazing darts.
Oh yeah, what can I say? You know, I think it was a great game, and he missed a couple of chances where I took the 140, but it was an amazing game. I'm really happy to get the win, and I don't know what to say.
I mean, I was going to say that it took him some time to get going, but towards the end, he got going, and he got one dart to pull another leg back. It could have gotten really uncomfortable.
Yeah, you know, when he hit the 114 for 5-3, I was like, oh, here we go. But luckily he missed the 72, and I took out the 68. And Josh is a fantastic player, but yeah, as you said, the second favorite to win the tournament according to the bookies. But really happy, yeah.
I mean, you said on Friday when you got your first win on the European Tour stage that this could turn into a run. I think we can officially call this a run.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't know. You know, once I got the first win, as I said on Friday, never know what happened. But really happy. Yeah, Whew, what a game.
Next round, Luke Humphries, the defending champion. But I mean, if you play like this again, average of close to 100, get a couple of ton plus finishes, you're gonna be dangerous for Kula and Luke as well, surely.
Hopefully, you know, he knows what I'm capable of, and I know, of course, what he's capable of. You know, he's a multiple winner on the Euro Tour, but just happy to make the quarterfinals. And yeah, it's a run, so who knows who's going to stop me.
Hey, Gian, congratulations, well done, and best of luck tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Gian van Veen.
Welcome back to the European Darts Grand Prix, which is turning out to be a special tournament for that young Dutchman, the 21-year-old Jan van Veen, who has beaten the world youth champion Josh Rock and beaten him brilliantly to make a maiden Euro Tour quarter-final. Yes, Rock wasn't at his best, but even if he was up at his usual standards in the high 90s, he might well have lost that game, because Van Veen averaging close to a ton, 6 180s, some brilliant checkouts, including 3 over 100 and a 12-darter. In fact, he had 2 12-darters in there as he stormed through to the quarterfinals, where he will take on the defending champion and #1 seed cool hand Luke Humphries. That is the first quarterfinal set up. We're now going to turn our attention to the other quarter in the same half of the draw. It is the quarter that features Gerwyn Price, the highest ranked player in the tournament, and of course the title favourite. He'll be facing Martin Schindler. But before that, it is another episode of Damon Heta, the Heat from Australia, against Joe Cullen, the rock star from Yorkshire.
Willkommen zurück zum Interwetten European Darts Grand Prix 2023. Die Achtelfinals live und präsentiert von der PDC Europe hier aus dem Glaspalast in Sindelfingen. Wir holen unsere nächsten beiden Spieler auf die Bühne und begrüßen aus Bradford, England, die aktuelle Nummer 13 der Welt, ein Premier League-Finalist und der frühere Masters Champion. Hier kommt Rockstar Joe Cullen.
She knows it's too late as we're walking on by. Her soul slides away, but don't look back in anger. I heard you say. So Sally can wait. She knows it's too late as she's walking on by. My soul slides away. But don't look back in anger. Don't look back in anger.
Sein Gegner kommt aus Australien, die aktuelle Nummer 15 der Welt, mit Titeln auf der Pro Tour und der European Tour. Der aktuelle World Cup of Darts Champion. Hier kommt The Heat, Damon Heta.
Wir waren nicht dabei, wir werden dich begleiten, wir bleiben treu. Du hattest schlechte Zeiten und wir waren auch dabei, wir werden dich begleiten, wir bleiben treu. Du hattest gute Zeiten, wir waren mit dabei, wir werden dich begleiten, wir bleiben treu. Du hattest schlechte Zeiten und wir waren auch
der Bühne unseren Referee für die nächsten beiden Partien. Und das ist der Kirkulator, Kirk Bevitt.
Well, the #4 seed, the World Cup champion and the Aussie #1, Damon Heta, body popping his way onto the stage and taking on Joe Cullen once again. This will be a 10th meeting between them. And while Cullen was the man to stop Heta in a number of the biggest events in the calendar last year, Heta was one of the best players in the world. He was throwing better numbers than the vast majority of players out there. And he was often favourite in these big TV matches with Joe Cullen. Got some moves, actually, to be fair. I mean, some, not all the moves. But he went into those games as favourite often against Joe Cullen. That irked the rock star. He didn't like it. He's like, I'm the guy who's won more titles. Why are people writing me off? And he proceeded to show that the bookies got it wrong because he hammered him at the match play, he hammered him at the Worlds, and even when Damon Heta won just as many legs as him and averaged exactly the same as him at the World Grand Prix, he still lost in set play to him. The only bright spark of hope for Damon Heta came on the European Tour where he beat Joe Cullen in Gibraltar on his way to the title. That is his sole Euro Tour victory so far. Chris Murphy is alongside me for Game 3 of the afternoon. It is the top player from Australia versus one of the top players on the European Tour over the last few years.
Yeah, and Joe Cullen ended a little run of misery on the Euro Tour with the victory yesterday against Josh Payne. Went down to a last leg decider in the end. Could have been 4 first match exits on the spin for Joe Cullen, but he navigated that deciding leg to get the better of Payne after Heta had beaten Adam Smith-Neal 6-3. Well, you mentioned that maiden Euro Tour win, beating Cullen along the way. Actually beat Cullen in the final of his first ranking title in the PDC as well, didn't he? On the floor for the Players' Championship event.
Yeah, he'd already won on the World Series, hadn't he? But that was his first ranking win. So it's quite a storied history between these two. And it's all happened in the last sort of 2.5 years. Keep running into each other. But then as top performers and players who are going deep in so many events, you kind of expect it.
$434.
Started pretty well. Cullen on for a potential 5-visit leg and a holder throw. It was hard work for Heta yesterday against Smith-Neal. Only averaged 91. He did win it 6-3, but it wasn't convincing.
52.
Similar stuff for Cullen, really. I know the game was closer in the scoreline, but again, it's a difficult job against Josh Payne. Had to break in the last leg decider.
Yeah, brilliant check out to win it, wasn't it? 108 with Josh Payne set on 60.
So you require 32.
Double 16 then to take the first one in this one.
Ooh, that was close.
16.
Not close
Then
enough
you
with any of
require
them.
108.
And it's that 108. He's made it more tricky. You can see the grimace from the Aussie. He finds the bottom corner of treble 19 to leave the double 16. Cullen's just missed 3 times.
76.
Almost
You require
got the
16.
108 that Joe won the match with, straight back at him in the first leg of the next match.
Yeah, for the first
But it's
leg,
Cullen who claims it.
The leg is Damon. Throw first. Game.
Looking once again to sort of defy the odds against Damon Heta, though. The roles have reversed, haven't they, over the course of the last 9 months or so.
77.
Where we'll get one double match.
101.
Not had a ton plus finish so far this weekend. It is something of a speciality of his. Particularly these ones that finish on double 16.
Yeah, it's on the second leg.
Oh, there you go.
Heta. The
Got it
leg is
first.
Joe to throw first. Game.
Really good signs in Leicester last weekend in the floor events from Damon Heta, where he did start to show a bit more of the form that we saw last year from him on such a regular basis. Big numbers. He should have beaten Johnny Clayton, the eventual winner in the most recent event.
Yeah, home tournament for him, isn't it, Leicester? The Australian who, of course, has made enormous sacrifices to come over
58.
and pursue his darting dream. You mentioned that win in
60.
Brisbane for Damon Heta. And I suppose that gave him a clue that he could live with the top players in the world, that he could beat the top players in the world. Because it is a big gamble, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. And if you look at his World Series record, when we first saw him, he was turning up and getting ironed out 6-0 and not playing very well. And there was no indication that Damon Heta could become a guy who could win a World Series event. And then he did win one.
97.
And even then, I'll hold my hands up. I was like, well, he's obviously a good player, but I didn't know he could be as good as he showed last year. He's improved. He's got better, and he may be able to get better yet.
99.
But the stuff that he was producing all the way through last year, that is good enough to win pretty much anything. It's just whether he can produce it, if he can be in form at the World Championship, be in form at the match play. If he gets that little bit of luck you need to win major time.
Chance for Cullen to answer a ton-topping checkout from Heta with one of his own. 110 goes, and Cullen goes back in front.
Joe Cullen, already a major champion, of course, and came within a dart of being the Premier League champion. He has achieved an awful lot in this game. But it's, as with every player, there are peaks and troughs. And while you wouldn't characterise his current form as a trough, he's not playing as well as he has done in spells. But you would think there's a good spell coming at some point.
They had that run of 3 straight defeats that I mentioned in the last 32. Actually, that also happened last year. And then he went and won the next European tournament he played in. That was in Hungary.
You can never write him off, Joe Cullen.
It's like he suddenly gets sick of losing and goes, right, I'm going to practice a bit, and starts beating everybody.
Yeah, almost like he needs a bit of a kick up the backside to get back to playing top darts. And that is top darts. A 180 answered with one of his own, but he can't stop Damon Heta having a look at the 167. He will get 2 visits from here to level the game.
93.
Well, took out 101 Heta for the leg that he did get in the ledger.
Damon Uruguay 74.
That's gone horribly wrong for Cullen, so Damon Heta's got all the time in the world. No pressure, no problem.
Damon Heta. The leg is Joe to throw first. Game on.
No switch, yep.
96. $140.
Winning with this. Sorry.
First start low, so switching again. Carry on down.
Well, winner with this to play either Martin Schindler or Gerwyn Price. As you can imagine, when Phil, our MC, was up on stage reading out the games to come, huge cheer for Martin Schindler from this crowd, and even more enthusiastic booing than normal for Gerwyn Price. It will be a spectacle, that game next up. And whatever happens, we've evidently got a problem with our camera on the board here because it's flickering in and out. So apologies for that. We may see if we can get it looked at the end of this game if it limps on to the end of the match.
21.
The 1-2-1 an offer for Heta here. Can't take it out now. And it offers Joe Cullen a go at 1-2-8.
89. Joe 128.
It's one of those really awkward ones. You'd rather have 130 than 128. But now it's treble 20 and bull. Very simple, at least in theory.
Damon Heta on checkouts of 60 or below was 5 out of 5 yesterday. And he thought he just made it 6 out of 6 in this tournament. Has now. He has by breaking Joe's throw.
Back-to-back 14 garters for Damon Heta. And that stat you just pulled out there, it kind of illustrates Damon Heta is not really doing the spectacular, but he is doing the basics very, very well. He's scoring okay. He is not taking out massive finishers left, right, and centre. But if he's getting 3 darts at a double, it's going.
96.
There aren't like big strings of errors and misses and misses and misses. It's kind of reliable, solid, steady darts.
which
57.
is often more than enough. We do
108.
apologise for the slight technical difficulties. I assure you that you're not blinking more dramatically than you thought you were.
96.
Well, Cullen hitting back and effectively stealing the darts here. Oh, silly. He
45.
can't rescue it. And all of a sudden, he's just handed the initiative back to Damon Heta.
And he can put himself down in that sort of simple, steady, solid range again, can't he, here, if he can find another treble?
Can he, though?
98.
Well, it's going to have to be another ton plus checkout.
I mean, mentioned he was great on checkouts at 60 or below. I mean, he's taken out two above 60 today, 101 and 74. Cullen himself has taken out this exact finish. Heta won't.
58.
There is so little between them in this game. Heta has the advantage. And he may still, because Joe Cullen is just coming up dry, going for those trebles. This is a missed opportunity. It was a great chance for Cullen halfway through this leg to get that break straight back. And Heta has been deadly in these simple single to double combinations. Does it continue? It does. He keeps on doing it. It's got to be quite a stressful experience for Damon Heta playing darts like this, but it's effective.
You can see that Joe Cullen has been affected. A lot of low darts around that treble 20, often the first one. And then that forces him into a decision, doesn't it? Changing his tact. That one is way, way high up above.
140.
And from that, manages to find two trebles. Good answer from Heta. Cullen is going to have to dig deep here.
57.
He's just faltering, isn't he, Joe? Damon Heta, I think, senses that the game is there to be won.
Again, that low dart. And again, in this kind of range around the low 200s, he's
43.
made a bit of a mess, only just leaving a finish and an enormous one at that.
Double 18 to really take control.
Joe leaving 161 probably made Heta's decision for him there for going for that treble 18 rather than trying to end on the bullseye.
Yeah, that's a recurring theme with Damon. He wouldn't have gone that route because the probability says just lay up.
Yeah.
In the end, he got two darts at double, and he comes back and pins the double 9, and he is in control of this game with a controlled performance.
It was actually the 161 that bit him against Johnny Clayton, wasn't it?
In Graz, where Johnny Clayton went on to take the title.
41.
But the point of percentage play, I suppose, is to keep doing it.
Yeah.
That's when it will eventually bear fruits over a long period of time. And the heat certainly is on, and it's on Joe Cullen. Starting to look a bit of a beaten man at the back of the hockey.
The averages have been pretty much neck and neck all the way through this game. It's only the last sort of 2-3 legs as Cullen has started to find the trebles a lot trickier. But Heta has pulled away. Not a huge amount, but enough. And he's had twice the number of darts at double as Joe Cullen in this game. And it's largely because of the setup play. He's been better at the back end of legs. Not stunning, but efficient. And that's a really half-hearted celebration that he pulled out there, because I think he's having a relatively straightforward time of it.
Yeah, Joe Cullen shaking his head as he hit a couple of treble 20s as well, because he's only really doing it at the wrong times, if there is a wrong time.
Doing the right things at the wrong moments, which is not what you need to do.
Well, here he needs to find a treble 20
89.
and does. Right thing, right time, but he might be out of time.
Going the safety route to guarantee a dart for the match. Chooses the late.
65.
It's a miss.
Will
Will he be bitten by a big one?
He could be. That's